Can you hear the music?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I had it custom made.
Nice.
Trying to get lyrics put onto it.
Your own lyrics?
No, someone that I know a lot of people on the socials that sing and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool.
Turn that down. Turn this all the way up. Fucking love this tune, man.
Yeah.
All right, welcome back to another episode of On the Throne with Dick, and shout out to Senjin Boychuk for that incredible, intro outro music. And as I was saying, and as I've been saying for months now, we're trying to get lyrics added to it, just right place, right time. Someone's gonna do it. They're just having issues with their I don't know what they call it, a manager or some shit. I don't have one of those, so I don't know. I don't have a manager. Maybe one day. And on today's episode, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Dirtbag, Gary from Dirtbag, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
How you doing, man? Good, man. How was your Christmas?
It was awesome. Really good. Lots of time off.
That's good.
That's time at home. Yep.
What are you doing these days? I know you're not working on a rig no more, are you?
No. I had to quit the rigs to deal with Dirtbag here in town, but I still drive a truck full time.
Nice.
Monday to Friday. Deal with Dirtbags on the weekend.
Hell yeah, man. I deal with Dirtbags for like a month at a time. Good for you. I'm only doing it on the weekends now. Shit. Yeah, man. I knew, and I remember seeing your episode of Dragon's Den, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, man, that's badass. A guy, in the oil and gas field in Alberta. I don't know. You were working in Alberta at the time, right?
Yeah, at the time I was, in Alberta, Grand Prairie.
Yeah. Good old GP. I'm in Fox Creek, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I remember at the time seeing that, right? I'm like, fuck, that's badass, man. That's one of us, right? Like, that's amazing, like someone like one of us, we got on there and shit like that. And, I don't remember many details about the episode. I just know that, hey, this guy from the Alberta oil patch was on Dragon's Den pitching his Dirtbag,
Well, that was like 5.5, 6 years ago.
Oh, man, time flies when you're having fun, eh?
Right, yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. It was a cool experience for sure.
Yeah, man. So how did you get on Dragon's Den? What do you just call them up and be like, hey, I got a sick idea, trust me, and then like they
No. They go to town and they do auditions, and I applied, I think maybe 1 or 2 times before I actually got accepted. And at the time, I didn't even have. I was just getting my prototype made, right? So when I got accepted, I just had one bag, one prototype, no sales. Nothing. Even when I went on the Dragon's Den, and normally if you go on the Den and you have no sales, they get on you pretty hard, right? So I figured they would, it would be just a waste of time. But they didn't say shit. You know what I mean? I had 0 sales and they didn't say nothing about it. So it was pretty good.
Hell yeah, man. That's awesome. I don't remember much. Like I said, I don't remember much about the thing, but like who bit? Did anyone bite?
Yeah, actually, what it shows on the episode is I got to deal with Jim Treliving, the Boston Pizza guy.
Yep.
And we kind of have a connection. I was born in the town where he grew up in, where he was a cop, and his dad was from there, and him and my dad were both barbers at the same time, kind of thing. So he almost had no choice but to give me a deal. Otherwise, he would have looked like a prick, right? So the episode shows when I leave the stage, we have a deal for, I don't even know how much it was, 50 grand or something for 25%. I don't even remember. But when I was leaving the stage, the other dragon, who was from Kelowna, told me to give him a call if I ever needed anything. So they kind of went 50-50 and split the deal, but they don't show that on television. So I ended up having 2 dragons, when I left.
That's badass. Yeah. You still talk to them?
I talk to Lane Merrifield every once in a while. He's a guy from Kelowna. Jim, I haven't spoke to him since on stage there.
Oh, wow.
Once you leave, they've got nothing to do with that deal. They just pass it off to their people, right? So actually, when it was about to air, Jim tweeted out that he's happy to be in business with me, even though his team backed out like months ago. But he figured we were still in business together. But he had no idea.
Oh shit! His team backed out, but didn't tell him.
Yeah. Like I said, after he passes it off, he's got nothing to do with it. Dragon's Den, it's not about guys like me. It's about making a TV show. That's all I care about, is making good TV. And I made a few kind of funny comments, and that's what pretty much, got me to airing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What comments did you make?
I forget what I said. I said I was a roughneck dirtbag, not a businessman. And at that point, apparently, all the people in the studio all stood up and cheered. That was at that point. Apparently, they knew that they were going to air it just because of that comment. That's what I was told by the producer. But yeah.
Well, shit, man, you got guys like me cheering you on, right? They knew what they were doing, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like guys, like little guys on the ground. No one. We're not business people. We're just fucking in the trenches.
I'm like, I have this idea. I just don't know how to take it any further. I've got the product, but I'm not a businessman. I was a vac hauler at the time, right? Full time. Yeah.
That's what I would do right now. I'm a swamper on a vac truck, man.
Really?
I've been doing that for 5 years. Yeah.
Oh, I was a vac hauling for almost 20 years.
Shit, man. Who did you work for?
JB for the longest time. JB Water and Vac.
Yeah. I've heard of them.
Bulldog and Pitbull.
Pitbull, Sammy. Shout out to Sammy.
Yeah.
Pitbull, man. I had him on my other podcast that I was a part of last year.
Yeah. He's good shit.
Sammy tried to poach me from where I'm working now, and almost had me, man. Sammy and I have spoken a few times since then, but I think he didn't get what he wanted, and I don't think he's too used to not getting what he wants. So I wouldn't do it. If I ever leave the vac industry, I'm not leaving, or if I ever leave where I work now, I'm not leaving to go work in on another vac truck. I'm leaving the vac industry altogether. Where I work is, I like the company. I don't work here for the name on the building or the trucks.
Mm-hmm.
I work for my boss, right? My boss is a solid dude, that
makes the difference.
Yeah, man. Like we didn't get a fucking Christmas party this year or bonus or anything like that. But I know that's not him. I know that's not him. Yeah. Whatever. It is what it is, right?
Yeah, I miss vac hauling, but at the end of it, I was on a sweet rig, doing 12s on a big pad. It was a pretty gravy job, but I did my time. I started out, at the bottom, and it was hard work, but I miss it. I couldn't handle the weather you guys do anymore, but I miss vac hauling.
The cement jobs, you gotta love a cement job on surface every 24 hours roughly.
Always 2 o'clock in the fucking morning.
Oh, dude, we had 2 of them at like fucking noon and like 10 o'clock in the morning, 10 a.m. and noon last hitch, man. It was glorious.
Oh man.
Did it in the sunlight? It was like this
that's pretty rare.
Nice. Damn. No shit, dude. No shit. My favorite part about it, and I've talked with the consultant. It was actually the consultant that's on this rig that I'm on now in Dawson. And I was talking to him a few months back, and I'm like, man, like everyone wants your job. Everyone thinks your job's cushy, right? But they don't see the hair pulling, and they don't see the tears, and they don't see you throw whipping shit across the room. They see the feet up, TV on, right?
Yeah.
And coffee in hand. And he's like, dude, the hardest part about my job is like when I line like 10 different services up to come out for a cement job. And then the cementers call me and be like, hey, we're stuck on this job. We're not going to be here for a while. I got to call 10 different services back, reschedule. And then if the cementers free up early enough, they call me back. They're like, hey, we can come at this time now. And then I got to call 10 different services back and schedule them again. And
I wouldn't do their job. I wouldn't do their job.
Fuck no, man. Someone dies, that's all on you, man. You're going to
jail,
right?
Yeah.
Like there's a reason why they make good money.
Yeah.
Right. We've had Gord Kitely on here from the Second Act podcast, and he was a consultant. He started off, washing the rig, climbing the derrick, washing the rig, looking down into the consultant shack, seeing the dude with his feet up, saying, "I want that guy's job."
Yeah.
And over the course of 20 years, he had that guy's job, and then he had the guy that the consultant works for. He had his job.
Yeah.
Right. And he said, he's like, the guy who had life by the balls was the guy hanging from the rig, fucking scrubbing it.
That's right. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. That's,
Yeah.
it's the money.
That when I first had this idea, or when I first decided to go for it, I went to my consultant. I'm like, let's do this, man. Let's do this together. He's like, that's a great idea. I don't think I want any part of it, but he gave me the cash, like $1,500 to do what I needed to do at that point. And he just says, pay me back when you got $1 million. That's all he said.
So pay him back?
Yeah, just to pay him back. He didn't want nothing. He just think it's a good idea. Here's $1,500. Go for it. Get her done. Yeah.
Yeah. And have you been able to pay him back yet?
No, not well. I don't have $1 million yet, but
no, you're getting there. You're getting there, bro.
He'll get it for sure.
I got the bag right here, man. Like, I fucking love this thing, dude. Like,
now, you should probably have a big bag, but.
Ah, shit. Stickers are falling out of it. I love, man, dude, you sent me a fuck ton of stickers too, man. Currency.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
those things are all over Kelowna, man. Every construction site you go to in Kelowna, you see Dirtbag all over the place.
Hell yeah, and it's not just for riggers either, right? Like, no, man, it's for guys who go to work and don't want to, mix their shit up. Like, sure. I carry my lunch. I don't want to carry my lunch in the same fucking duffel bag that I'm carrying my coveralls and my boots in,
Yeah.
And I don't want to carry my boots in one hand and the rest of my shit in the other, right? I want to put it all in one bag and carry it one bag,
Yeah. Well, I kept losing my shit. That's what made me think of it. Like right off the bat was because I had somebody threw out my Dunlops and my hard hat flew out at the pickup or something like that. And that's when I thought I need a bag to carry all of it. And that's when I thought of the design. And the design that I thought of, like, it was probably 25 years ago, sitting in a truck in the parking lot of a camp, drinking beers with a buddy, somewhere north of Fort Mac there. And that's where I had this idea. And the bag that you see there is the picture I had in my head like 25 years ago. The exact
beautiful
style and detail. Yeah.
That is beautiful. In the summertime, I leave the patch and I go work on a road crew. I'm a gypsy, right? Like, I am a gypsy. I go from town to town, hotel to hotel, and my work clothes get mixed in with my good clothes in my duffel bag, right?
Yeah.
And I try to separate. I'll put the dirty ones, with road oil and asphalt oil and shit like that in a garbage bag and put it in the bag. Now I don't got to. I'm going to carry 2 bags. One of them's going to have my work gear in it. One of them's going to have my regular clothes in it, which will be much smaller than my work gear. And now I have a third bag, right? The podcast comes with me wherever I go. So,
and just because it's got a hard hat pocket doesn't mean you got to put your hard hat in there. Or just because it's a boot pocket, you don't have to put boot pockets in there. I've got guys that use them for dirtbag riding and camping and
hell yeah.
Just because it's a roughneck dirtbag doesn't mean you got to be a roughneck to own one, right?
Fuck yeah, no, and roughneck has many different terms.
The name and
anybody could be a roughneck, man. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be a guy, the bottom feeder on the rig.
Exactly.
It could be, it could be a bottom feeder anywhere.
Yeah. And it's not. We're not calling you a roughneck or a dirtbag. That's the name of the bag. If you don't like if you don't like the name of the bag, then go buy someone else's bag. I don't. You
don't fucking care, man. You just created a bag. If people buy it, they buy it.
Yeah.
Who the fuck cares, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, same, man. When I got merch, right? And I got my own shirts and hats and shit. Mm-hmm. People want to buy, they want to buy. If they don't, they don't.
Yeah. I get a lot of people that are offended, but you know what I mean? If you're offended, don't buy it, don't look at it, don't comment. I don't want to fucking hear about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. Man, when I asked you to come on, you're like, I'm rough around the edges. And I was like, the podcast is rough around the edges, man. Like,
well, I don't really like people. I like maybe 3 people and my dog. So to talk, speaking and stuff like that, it's not really my bag. But I love my dirt bags, and I'm passionate about it.
Hell yeah. That could be taken as you love your dirt bags, like
the
bags or the people that buy them. That there are dirt bags.
Both of them, right?
Oh, see, look at that. See that? Hell yeah.
And, when I made this bag, we're not trying to get rich. We're making it. We're getting it done as cheap as possible, but I'm selling them as cheap as possible. Like we're not trying to get rich here. You know what I mean? I just wanted to have a good bag for the people out there that and not pay a bunch for it.
Well, it feels like it's waterproof.
It is. The material is completely waterproof, and like you can't rip that shit. You can stick a knife through it and rip it, sure, but you can't tear it. And I put the same material on the inside as the outside, double, just so you can throw it in the driveway and pressure wash it, when you get home from work.
Hell yeah.
And the zipper is water resistant, so I've tried to make it as waterproof as I possibly can without going to that next step. The next step, the zipper is crazy expensive, and then I got to charge the customer. So I'm just trying to make it as best as I can, as cheap as I can. That's all I can do.
Hell yeah, man. How much do you sell the small ones and the big ones for? Like, what's the price difference?
The small one is $199 and the larger $250. I think right now they're on sale. The wife takes care of most of that, but yeah, and I pay the same that I get charged the same for a big or as the small. You know what I mean? So, but $199 for the small and $250 for the
That's
large.
not bad at all, man.
No,
considering what I'm feeling here, the quality and what it's made for, you can't buy a better bag than that, dude. As a guy who lives out of a bag on the road year round, man, like I go through bags all the time, right? And
I hear you.
This one here,
and I was there
quality.
When I left the patch. I used to take a large bag and a small bag. This is the best way to describe it: is the large bag is for the Dunlops, the small bag is for your work boots. But I would take both. So when I'd go up to the rig, I would have everything I took was in those two bags. And then when I come home, it'd be, all my dirty clothes would be in a garbage bag, and my bags would be full of free camp shit. Fill it up.
Yep. I hear that, man. I bring cookies home for the kids, right?
Oh, yeah.
And little slices of cake for the wife, you never know. Hey, I'm trying to buy back my love, or buy back her love when I come home. It's like, hey, babe, I want in the front door later on. Here's a slice of cake, like front door, back door. I don't care. Whatever one the cake buys,
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Right on.
So were you just a vac caller for like the whole time in the patch, or?
Yeah, pretty much. I started as a well tester.
Oh,
back when I was younger, like young. And then, I got into vac hauling and loved it and never looked back. I was doing it right until I had to quit to deal with Dirtbag.
So Dirtbag was you came to like a crossroads with Dirtbag where it's like your job was literally in the way of this thing.
Yeah, because we started. I was selling them while I was in the oil patch, and then my wife was doing most of it. So it was just too much for right now. We're both working full-time jobs and then doing Dirtbag on the side. She does all the computer stuff, and so. But yeah, I got a sea can put in my backyard. I got Dirtbags in the garage. My probably 200 Dirtbags in the dining room. Another 200 in the sea can. Yeah, we just put a sticker on it and put it out in the driveway, and UPS picks it up.
Man, I think it was like 70,000 people now across the internet have seen my video, and a bunch of people commented on it. Oh, I'm getting one. Oh, I gotta get one. Hey, just ordered, right? And I'm like, fuck yeah, man. Like, that my whole thing with that was like, hey, man, I gotta get this guy in the podcast, right? Like when I reached out, I Googled Dirtbag, right? I had to, right? I saw it came across my fucking feed like it always does. And it's been there forever, and I see it, and I'm like, fuck, man, I gotta get this guy on my podcast. Like a blue collar oil field podcast. This guy's blue collar and oil field. You know what? Fuck it. This bag, designed for the oil field worker or blue collar worker in mind. I gotta get this guy on. So I Googled the name. Out popped your number. Carmen, I believe, your wife answered. Yeah,
my wife.
Talked to her for a little bit, and she's like, "Yeah, I think you'd love that." And then fucking, you messaged me back like that night or the next night or whatever it was, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, we got to get this guy on."
Yeah. Well, I've never done a podcast before either, so
I'm popping your cherry.
I'm a virgin, I'm a virgin.
Not no more.
I'm nervous, man. I don't like I said, I'm not big on speaking, but
hey, you know what? Neither am I. I like to talk.
Well, you seem to do pretty good.
Well, yeah. Talking is my wheelhouse, right? Yeah. But like also ADHD, my mind moves a million miles a minute, and like I get nervous when I'm thinking about doing the podcast,
Yeah.
I 99% of the time I want to back out. I want to be like, I don't know if I want to do this right now, right? And then I push myself. I'm like, hey, we gotta go, and then I do it. And then a week before it comes out, I push it out with like teaser clips, and then the day that it comes out, I'm just like, all right, here we go,
that man. Dragon's Den. I was so nervous. And like I come out, I got like my winter parka, my hard hat, trying to look the part, right? And when you're standing up, kind of they show your silhouette walking down, past the glass, and then you walk down the steps.
Yeah.
Well, before that, you're standing behind a door, and there's a camera on both sides of you, and the producer's screaming at me, telling me not to take no for an answer, and I'm just shut up and let me. Because I had like a whole speech memorized, right? Like I had to plan for a couple of weeks. And as soon as I walked down those stairs, I could just feel the sweat coming, and I forgot everything. Everything I fucking learned for the past week all went out the window, and it was all just by the seat of my pants. As soon as I seen those dragons, it was just like I just started sweating. Well, but yeah, it did okay.
Kevin O'Leary is one of them now, isn't he? Or is that the other one? Shark Tank.
He started out Dragon's Den, and then he's now Shark Tank.
Yeah, I love that guy, man.
Yeah,
so, I love that guy. He's savage.
Yeah.
So
well, that's the thing. And I went in there, and I went to this Dragons thing, not even wanting a deal. Like I think that I had like I was asking for $25,000 for 25%, which that wasn't the deal I wanted, but I just wanted it to get on air. I didn't want to have a deal because I figured I could do it on my own. Just me and the wife. We didn't need to give it to half of the company to someone else. You know what I mean? Because I don't want partners, and I don't want to borrow money or anything. We've just done it on our own. So I just wanted it to make television. So when I got a deal, I knew that I wasn't going to keep the deal because I wasn't going to give away 25% of my company unless they could, prove that they're going to help me out big time. But the plan was to do it on our own.
Let's say 30,000 people watched that episode, right? Yeah. And let's just say 30,000 people right that night, and then over the course of time, another 40,000 people have watched it or through reruns and whatnot on social media and stuff. Yeah. And out of let's say 70,000 people altogether, right, have seen it over the course of time. Mm-hmm. If you can convert 10,000 people, not 10,000, 10% of whoever have seen it, you're killing it. Yeah.
That's the way I see it too. Like, when I first started getting into this, I'm looking how many oil field workers are in North America, and there's millions. So I'm like thinking if I could just get 1% of all these people, I've made it. But I figured it would be when I had this idea, I'm like, I'm a fucking genius. Within 3 months, I'm going to be living on a beach in Mexico. You know what I mean? But it just didn't happen that way.
Yeah, you take the long, hard road, right?
Yeah, it's gonna come. I know it is. Yeah.
It's only been 5-6 years, right? Dude,
5.5 years, yeah.
How many bags have you sold in 5.5 years?
Just over 3,000, I think.
3,000 bags in 5 years, man. So you're looking at a little more than what? You're looking at almost under 2,000 bags a year. No, I don't know. I'm shitty at math, so
and every year it's getting better and better. So
hell yeah! How many did you sell off my video? How many? Like you said.
That's hard to tell. Right away, we started selling lots of black T-shirts, lots of black long sleeves.
Yes.
Yeah, and here's the one.
That's sick. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, a couple bags with shirts, but it's hard to tell which from that video. But for 2 or 3 days after that video, we had awesome sales. It was great. I loved it, man. And every time we get a sale with a shirt or a dirt bag, the wife's phone does this little cha-ching. So it's nice to hear that, eh? Every once in a while, you get the little cha-ching.
The Shopify thing, eh?
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
And I love that. And do you just ship them right out of your house? Like, someone ordered, ship.
Yeah.
Nice. That's what we do too with our merch and shit. My wife makes it all right here on this table that I'm currently recording this podcast on. I bought her the t-shirt press and the sublimation printer and all that shit. She had a Cricut, but we don't do vinyl no more. Fuck that. And I bought her all that shit, and we do it right here, man. We call this Frosty Studios now.
Nice.
No, not really, but like
Well, yeah, the wife does it in her office. I'm sitting in my garage right now, but yeah, she just prints off a label, sticks it on the box, and puts it out the door.
That's
unless we got a bigger orders and we got pallets going out and stuff. Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. That's slick. So, fucking dude, a well tester, really?
Yeah, that was my very first job. Actually, I was the head cook at a keg in Calgary, and I quit. Went into the bar to grab a beer, and I sat beside this stranger, and he offered me this job, well testing, and that was my introduction to the oil field.
Dude.
Yeah, it lasted a couple years, and then I got right into vacuum.
What year was that?
Oh fuck, man! I couldn't even tell you. It's got to be shit. I couldn't even tell you.
I took a job in Fort Mac in 2012. 2012, I took a job in Fort Mac, and I worked in the patch, just never in Fort Mac. It was never like where I was working. I think it was GP where I started, but I got laid off, and then I went home, tucked my tail between my legs, and I was addicted to the money. Right? It was damn, here we go. And so I applied for a job in Fort Mac, and I got it. They flew me out. And that was good. That was a good time. I was there for almost 2 years, I think. And when I first landed, though, my first hitch, I landed in Fort Mac. I'm in the airport, 2012. I'm waiting on the crew van to pick me up, right? And I didn't know they were waiting on like 10 other people too. But so I was getting on the Husky Sunrise Energy Project at the time, right? And there were a lot of people on site. So I was sitting there, and I struck up a conversation with this guy. Well, he struck it up with me, and he's like, man, he's like, my ride just canceled on me. I gotta take a cab or whatever to Conklin. And from Fort Mac, that's a nasty little cab.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, been there many times.
He's like, I'm the hiring not the hiring manager. I'm like the super or whatever I can't remember what kind of company it was. I don't remember. I remember minor details of the conversation, but he's like, you want to go to Conklin with me? He's like, I'll get you a job. You split this cab ride with me. And I was like, shit, man. I'm like, no, I got a job lined up here. I'm waiting for the fucking crew van right now, right? Like, I can't do that. I ended up being in Conklin eventually anyway, but a couple years down the line. But, and while I was waiting in the Fort Mac airport, man, it hit me, I got offered like 3 or 4 different jobs just sitting there. Wow. Hey, you want a job? You want a job? Get in the car. The truck's out front. Let's go. Yeah. Come on, you want a job? Want a job? I'm like, no, I'm waiting on the crew van. It's good. Yeah.
Well, I took this job, and like I said, I was a cook at the keg, and it was my first job. It was like 40 below. We got sent somewhere down around Tabor, and we landed on location, and the first 10 minutes, the supervisor cracked a union right off the wellhead. And I guess it was full of air pressure, and it just blew, and I automatically turned away. And when I turned around, Buddy was like 20 feet away with a skidoo suit blowing right off his body. He had to get airlifted out of there. That was my very first oil field job, 10 minutes. 10 minutes I lasted, and this guy's getting shipped off in the helicopter.
Fuck,
it was crazy. 40 below. I don't have clothes to work in 40 below weather. I was a cook, It was brutal.
You learn real quick though, man. After your first 40 below hitch or first 40 below shift though, nights or whatever, you learn real quick what to take with you and what not to take with you, right? That's it hits you. It hits you, right? Like these boots.
And it was a shit show. Like we the partying back then, all fucking night, going to work all day, and everybody was up all night. It was just fucking crazy. There was no safety. Fuck all, right? It was those were the days. But
that's insane, man. When I first started, there was not a lot of safety, but safety was just starting to come. Come into play a lot. Like I remember blowing my finger apart with a 5-foot crowbar and a sledgehammer. And took it right to the bone. Safety guy was standing right behind me, and he watched it happen. He's like, "Hey, you good?" I'm like, yeah. He's like, come over here. And he fucking poured water all over it, distilled water. And he's like, how's that feel? I'm like, I've never had something hurt more in my life. Right. And he's like, you want to go to the hospital? I'm like, no. Do I have a choice here? He's like, yeah. I'm like, no, I don't need to go to the hospital, man. I'm good. Right. And And I remember, man, we wrapped that thing. It was this finger, man. We wrapped it up. I still can't bend it all the way,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And I remember, man, like, you know, I'm like, fucking, that's awesome. No one's making me go to the hospital,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Now, a couple of years ago, the exact same finger on the other hand, there's a big ass scar on that finger. Took the knuckle clean off with I was working for my dad, and fast forward to a couple of years ago, I'm in a vessel cleaning it out, right? Cleaning out the Mister pads. You know all about that.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, there were little spikes hanging out the side of them from where the guy I was working with, he's like, we volunteer to take them out for you guys, and we'll clean them, and then we'll take them back up the scaffolding and put them back in. That's not our job, bro. We're there to clean them. That's it, right? Like, let them figure out how to get involved. I couldn't be like, nah, he's right. After he volunteers, I'm like, yeah, we're men. We'll do this, right?
Yeah.
Fucking, they were chewing through our gloves all day long, man, putting giant holes in them. It was only a matter of time before somebody got it more than a glove, right?
Yeah.
It just happened to be the last of Mr. Pad. It just happened to be my fucking finger, right? It went in here and came out the other side, man, right through that scar. Dude, they didn't give me the option of whether I wanted to go to the hospital or not. They made me go. They're like, hey, you're going to the hospital and you can't drive yourself, right? I'm like, I can drive with my other hand. I'm fine. It's like half hour away. He's like, no, you got to get your safety guy out here, and he's got to come and get you. Well, the safety guy hemmed and hawed about it. Didn't want to come out to get me.
Didn't want to come out, yeah.
So they sent the whatchamacallit out, the supervisor out to get me. The supervisor drives me back to camp, gets out of the truck and says, here, go to the hospital. I'm like, okay, fuck it. I don't care. So I went to the hospital, man. And away we went.
Woo.
Yep. Yeah, away we went, man. And, like, that finger's good. I can bend it. No feeling up here anymore, but, like, we're good.
Yeah, it's not like it used to be, man. It's crazy. Even here down on the construction sites and stuff, it's out of control.
Well, we're the most regulated oil patch in the world, right? We have the most red tape and shit like that, and the biggest safety in the world, right? And they want to regulate it more and more and more, and it's like, how could you regulate this anymore?
Yeah. It makes it tough to do the job sometimes. Like, I know that everybody home safe, but fuck, just leave them alone and let them do their fucking job.
There's some really good safety officers out there that be like, hey, I trust you.
Yeah.
It's on my mind. I have a family I want to go home to.
Of course, yeah.
And I'm going to do this as safely as I can. Might be a little bit cowboy, but like I'm going as best as I can here with what I'm given, right? And if I sense anything's going wrong, I stop immediately.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, that's it, Fuck, dude, same job where I fucking hit my finger to the bone. I'm working on a gravel crusher, right? I'm inside the jaws. They called it the bear jaw or whatever the hell. I can't remember what it was.
Bear trap?
I don't know. They feed the fucking gravel into the thing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know.
Yeah.
Grizzly bars.
The grizzly, that's it. Yeah, we had so once a week we had to go down and climb down this belt, get into the thing and clean it out. Took 12 hours to do this damn thing, right? Took a whole shift. So I'd get in there, I'd clean a little bit out on the belt, and I had to leave. I couldn't do too much at a time. I had to be able to get back out of there, right? And the hole is like, so you climb down the belt, you go like 90 degrees and you go up, right? And and I had to get a little bit off the walls and shit like that, and then leave enough room for myself to get back out the belt.
Yeah.
And then give the signal once I was up to, you're good to go. Right? Well, I came up with a smart ass idea. It'll take less time. We can get more production done. I've got a seat inside the damn thing. I can hold on to the bars. I'll get as much as I can off, and someone stands up top, and I'll tell them when it's good. Right? So I'm like, if I slip, I fall, there's bad communication at all, I'm dead. Right? Because it's straight down and then like a 90-degree up a belt with two fucking blades sitting down like this.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even wear my hard hat in there because going between those two things, my hard hat was too big.
Oh, yeah.
So like, I would have been dead immediately. Right? So I was in there, took 8 hours to do. Save yourself 4 hours, man. Like, hell yeah, I look like a fucking genius, right? So like, fucking I'm in there doing it. The one day and I go to sit on the little ledge, and I slipped a little bit, and I told the guy up top, I'm like, "You're good," and I slipped a little bit. I'm like, "Shit, whoa, whoa, whoa," and I grabbed onto the bar last second. I'm like, we're good, right? He couldn't hear me anyways, even if I was screaming. He wouldn't hear shit. You wouldn't know until there was blood coming out of the fucking mouth. Yeah, dude. And the guy that was up top, I got him a job. I didn't trust him. I didn't know him. It was a favor for his wife.
Oh yeah.
And I knew her, and his eyes freaked me the hell out, dude. He'd look down at me just like, right? And I'd be like, yeah, I'm done in here. I don't want to be in here anymore. Like, that guy is not gonna listen to me properly. Something's gonna go wrong with communication. He was definitely the hard R, right? Like, it was
yeah. I don't take chances like that. It's kind of shit anymore.
I was 20 years old, man. I was 20 years old, right? I'm mid-30s now. That was 15 years.
Yeah, I'm 50.
Jesus.
Yeah. If I fall down now, shit fucking, I don't just get up anymore.
Dude.
Fall down, next thing you know, my ankle, my knee, my hip, everything's fucking sore.
Oh, fuck. I don't have to fall down. I just lay down and I go and get up. It's like that,
Getting old sucks, man.
Dude, my kids right now, they've been, since the beginning of school this year, I think they haven't been sick for maybe 3 weeks. My oldest daughter likes to lick everything she sees, right? And like, whenever I come home on days off, I'm like, hey, you cut that shit out for a couple weeks before I come home, right? Don't do it ever. My wife had pneumonia at the beginning of the year because of it. Fucking dude, like, there's been maybe a month since September where I haven't been sick, right? Really? I started feeling good. My daughter started getting sick, but started getting a little bit better before I came home this time. I'm like, good. A couple days ago, had to take her to urgent care. Not feeling like sicker than a fucking dog. My nose is stuffed up today. I don't know, man. My nose is stuffed up today, though.
No,
I'm ready to start throwing hands at a 6-year-old. So, yeah.
I haven't had like a cold, like being sick for forever, but it's I sprained my ankle like 6 months ago and just hasn't healed. I've been limping ever since. 6 months I've been limping around.
You're not 20 anymore, right? You sprain your ankle when you're 20, you're back up and running.
Oh, yeah. It used to be nothing. Used to do it every weekend.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's insane, man. It's crazy. How long have you and Carmen been together?
10, 11 years.
Good for you guys, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. The wife and I have been married 11 years this year, together for 18.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, man.
You met in Edmonton or what?
No, we went to school together in Ontario, where we're from there.
Oh, yeah?
We've known of each other since grade 7. We've been together since grade 11. Oh. And married for 11 years. So, yeah.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, man. It's when you know, right? Like, there's a couple times in our youth where I was like, I got what I wanted. I got to get the fuck out of here. And she didn't take that as an acceptable answer. So she dragged my ass back every time. So
that's good.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we have a great relationship, man. We've to this day have never fought, never raised our voice to each other, nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's awesome, and she takes care of Dirtbag. She knows what she's doing on the computer and the books, and she's our accountant. She does everything. Yeah, couldn't do it without her.
Takes a smart woman behind the scenes, man. Dude, you're not smart enough to handle that shit.
No, yeah.
No.
I wouldn't be able to do it without her. Like I said, I'd have to hire people, and it probably wouldn't be worth it at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
People do all that, so yeah. She's the brains of the operation, that's for sure.
Hell yeah! Where'd you guys meet?
Online. I was actually. When I first started talking with her, I was on the rigs. I think all my stuff was in storage, and I was going to Mexico. I was single, going to Mexico at the end of every month for about 2 years. I'd do my 30 days on the rig and 7 days in Puerto Vallarta. And I just got sick of it. So then I started going on these dating sites and figured that I would move to Kelowna because it's one of the nicest places in Canada, right?
Yeah.
And she was my first date, and
I
was planning on dating all these girls and having fun in Kelowna, but she was the first one that answered, and that was it. So yeah.
Hell yeah, man. That's awesome, man. I
Yeah.
love that. Mine, we shared a locker in grade 12. We shared a locker
Really?
in grade 12, man. I wasn't allowed to keep it dirty anymore. You know, every other year I had half a year's worth of laundry in there at the end of the year, and like I found food I didn't even know I had brought in at some point, right? Grade 12 comes around, man, and it's like, there's pink fucking Post-its in there and little mirrors and
Right
like
on.
oh, dude, and it was clean. I'm pretty sure she sprayed it with perfume too. Like, you know, like, okay, this is cool, sweet, thank you.
Right on.
Yeah,
High school sweethearts.
yeah, man. You know, it's been a blast. I met her brother. I don't remember meeting her brother. Like now I do. He made me remember, but like I met her brother like a year before that, I think, walking home from school, and I was being very obnoxious to him and his friends. And when his sister brought me home, he's like, "Why the fuck are you bringing this guy here?" Like, let me tell you what he said to me the first time I ever met him. I don't remember anymore, but like, you know, but yeah, man, there's, you know, he's still like that. 20 years later, man, you know, we don't really talk much, him and I, like, but you know, he still views me as that kid who fucking was obnoxious on the way home from school that one time.
Well, fuck, that was what, 12 years ago, or
20.
20 years ago.
Yeah,
Fuck.
I left an impression.
Oh, people change.
Sometimes. So I have a question for you. You know what viscosity is, right? You worked on the rig.
Yeah.
All right, what's viscosity in your own words? In your
what did you say?
Own words. Viscosity.
Viscosity?
Viscosity, yeah.
Viscosity. What the fuck does that mean? It doesn't have to do with the mud, or
yeah, the thickness.
Yeah.
The thickness of the mud going down hole. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mud man deals with viscosity.
Yeah, their can deals with that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
What about it?
Well, the podcast is sponsored, is where I'm going with it, by the Mudman. The Mudman sponsors the podcast. Yeah, a guy, he has his own, like, he's revolutionizing the position and all the equipment you can use while you're doing it. You know, like it's pretty niche. Check it out. He was actually on the podcast. Fuck, I don't even know, man. 10 weeks ago or some shit.
He does that little thing with the fucking with the weights and shit. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, so the Mudman sponsors the podcast, and he deals in the thickness of your load.
The thickness of your load.
The thickness of your load. He's got your back and your front. www.mudman.com or mudmarket.com for all your drilling fluids and laboratory testing equipment needs. The Mudman.
Mudman.
How thick is your load? Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. No, it's been a good partnership, man. I've known the guy. The relationship with him predates the podcast, and you know, he came up to me, I think around episode like 8 or 9, and he's like, "Hey, man, I noticed your audio and shit's getting a little bit better. Like, you know, I just went back and watched, and I was using corded headphones." And that changed a lot. Before that happened, you know, the audio was dog shit. So he's like, I sponsored the podcast for 5 episodes, and you know, we get you a mic and a headset, and that's where this shit comes from. So around episode 14, we started talking about it. 5 episodes later was 19. Here we are, 53, 54.
Wow.
54 episodes in, 55 episodes in, talking about the Mudman stuff.
So how many years is that?
Oh, I put one out a week, so you know, we're 54 weeks into her.
Wow, good for you, man.
That's awesome. Episode 50 was a big one. I wanted to get Mike Rowe on. You know,
yeah. I heard about that.
Couldn't get him on, but you know, we're not done trying. You know, if he has to be at a later date, we'll get him. Mike, I'm coming for you, big dog.
Has he ever talked to you?
Never.
No.
But who I also wanted on episode 50, you know, I was trying for like 4 or 5 weeks before we got there. Yeah. Mike Williams, he was on the Deepwater Horizon, and I reached out. Mudman got me his phone number actually within 8 hours. Yeah, and reached out, and the guy blocked my number. So like, you know, I understandably, man, he doesn't want to deal with that shit, right? It's something that he wants to leave in the past, and you know, lots of people died, and it's traumatic. I understand. I gotta respect that.
Yeah, but he could have he could have answered your call and told you that.
Yeah, he told me to call him back in 2 weeks, and when I called him back 2 weeks to the day, he never answered. And you know what? I went through my my emotions with it. You know, the steps, the grieving steps. It's kind of not grieving, but at first, I understood. I was disappointed, but I understood. And then I was a little mad, because hey, tell me no, right? I'm not. I haven't heard no yet. I've been calling him from other people's phones ever since, right? Never answers a Canadian number. So whatever. And now I get it. I completely understand, right? I'm back to completely understanding. There was the thing there I went through with it for a little bit. It was like, well, shit, you answered the phone from Mark Wahlberg when he called, right? But, well, Mark Wahlberg played him in the movie, right? And Mike worked closely with him. But
I didn't even know there was a movie.
Oh yes, Deepwater Horizon. But he probably got paid a fuck ton of money to take care of his family as well. So I'm on that fence, right? Like I'm allowed to be understanding and upset at the same time. I'm allowed. It's allowed to happen. So whatever. I respect his decision, but I'm also disappointed a little bit.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of movies, we had gotten a call from a producer in he said he was doing a movie in Austin, Texas about the drilling rigs. And one of his lead actors has requested a roughneck dirtbag to be in the movie.
Shut up.
So we're like, oh, okay. It kind of sounded fucking sketchy, but it was a Texas phone number. So we looked into it, and sure enough, it was legit. And we ended up sending them 4 small bags, 4 big bags, shirts, hard hat stickers. So now they made this movie. It's called Chocolate Lizards. It's with Thomas Hayden Church. He was the Sandman in the Spider-Man movies.
Oh, okay. Yep, the big motherfucker.
The mechanic in that sitcom Wings.
Yep, I know who that is. Yeah, he's that big motherfucker.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, so he's the lead actor, and Carrie-Anne Moss from the Matrix movies.
Yeah.
She's his wife in the movie, and then some other young kid. But yeah, it's about a guy that's got a drilling rig, and he's got 30 days to strike oil before the bank takes it, kind of thing.
Damn.
But yeah, so we haven't heard much since because the writer's strike happened, right? So that kind of slowed everything down.
Yeah.
But we hear that it's released in I think on American Netflix.
Okay.
But, yeah, as far as we haven't seen it yet, we don't know, so I don't like talking about it a lot. But they sent us just pictures from the teleprompter. But like all the hard hats in the movies have my stickers. That right where the driller's control box is, my big stickers right there. They sent a picture with Thomas Hayden Church with it on his shoulder. So yeah,
that's badass, man.
Yeah, and it looks like a good movie. So
dude, I'm gonna go pirate the shit out of it when we're done here, man. I'm gonna watch it tonight.
The Chocolate Lizards. It's about it has something to do with Chocolate Lizards is a type of cowboy boot, I think.
Okay.
But apparently it's a remake from the 50s. But yeah, if that comes out, apparently it got first place at the Dallas Film Festival. So maybe it's a good movie, and maybe it'll. Never know.
You
right?
might be paying that consultant back when that movie comes out, my
Fuck
friend.
Yeah.
Fucking right,
Fuck
man.
Yeah.
That's sick. That's pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah. But we haven't got any proof pictures or anything yet, so I'm not sure how much it's showing. But they say that if it is, the logo will be visible and upright. And
yes, no, that's fucking awesome,
crossed, man. Yeah, I'm excited to see it. I just want to see my bag, on TV like that.
Hollywood, man.
Yeah.
Dirtbag goes Hollywood.
Fuck yeah. It's crazy.
Fuck, man, that's slick, man. Good for you. Fuck, man, that's what I'm talking about. One of our own, man. Like Dragon's Den. Fucking Hollywood, man. Like, look at you go, bro. Like, fuck.
The Dick Frost Show. Fuck.
The Dick Frost Show. You heard about it here first, guys. You heard about it here on the Throne with Dick, Fuck, man.
Yeah, hey, and if you do happen to find that movie, let me know.
Oh, I will, man. I'm gonna go.
I don't know anybody that's got American Netflix, or even if it is out yet. I know it's been released because it made it to the film festival, but I think it's just because of the delays with the writers.
Yeah.
Strike.
I've got my Amazon Fire Stick, and I have it like whatchamacallit there. Firewall or whatever. I have a fire. I can't remember what it's called. Anyways, I have it fucking. I can watch whatever I want, and when I type it in, I usually get jailbroken. I have it jailbroken, so I can watch anything anywhere.
Really?
And oh yeah, man, I'm gonna go look for it when we're done here, man. That's
fuck yeah. Let me know.
The wife and I gotta watch a movie tonight. Yeah, the wife and I gotta watch a movie tonight. So I gotta get up. I gotta get up early in the morning. Because fucking I was supposed to go back to work today.
Oh yeah.
And then my boss. Well, yeah, today was supposed to be my last day off. And then they're calling me up and they're like, "Hey, your H2S and first aid expires in like 3 weeks. Like, and the place, the class that you go for, is right down the street from your house." Friday, do a course. Saturday, do a course. Then we're at New Year's. Stay home until the 1st, and we'll come get you. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm in.
Those are shitty fucking courses, though. That first aid, man. Oh, that's the worst thing.
I don't care. Nah, I don't care. I get 8 hours paid for it.
Yeah,
fuck do I care?
Fuck.
If I'm getting my wife to bring me something to eat, some sort of fast food, anyway.
Right on.
Yeah, man. No, that's huge though, dude. Yeah. Have you sold any bags to any like famous people or any like? Not
that I know of. I sent a bag up to what's his name, Mitch on Gold Rush.
Gold
Rush.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mitch, the mechanic, he has a bag. So I just kind of got a hold of him on Instagram, and I'm like, check out this bag, and I sent him one, but I haven't really heard much from him. I don't know. Maybe he's just busy. I don't know.
You know Rust Valley Restores?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're coming on the podcast
really
in the next couple weeks. Yeah.
Really?
Hell yeah, man.
Mike Hall, isn't that? Yeah.
Yeah. I love that guy's voice, man. Like, I love his voice, and his voice just like sends the blood flowing down south. It's fucking.
So who's all coming on the show? Just him and Avery, or?
I'm not sure who's all coming on. They were supposed to come on, but one of the guys, I'm not sure how much I can talk about it. One of the guys had a health issue, and I think has to lose his foot. So we'll get into that when they come on. But I'm excited for that one. Fucking who else is coming on here? Shit, we've been talking to them quite a bit. Fucking Captain Dave Marciano from the fucking Wicked Tuna. Yeah, man.
Really?
Captain Dave followed me back. Shit. So last year when the podcast started, I reached out to him, right? He followed me back on Twitter. Mm-hmm. And I've been talking to him in the DMs a little bit here and there. And, he gave me his contact person. And so I emailed the contact person, heard nothing back for a long time. Emailed again, heard nothing back. I'm like, son of a bitch. So I messaged him, like, man, you good to come on? He's like, yeah, they didn't forget a hold of you. I'm like, no. So then I waited until maybe 3 weeks ago, and I emailed again, right? And she got a hold of me. She's like, hey, I'm no longer the point of contact for Dave. She's like, I haven't been for like months, like almost a year. She sent me the point of contact. I emailed them right away. They got back to me and they're like, hey, this is perfect. Like season 9 or whatever's dropping in February.
Yeah.
So maybe this will be good to get them on for season 9, just before it drops. And I'm like, fuck yeah, man. Like
he's like a pilot or something too, isn't he?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Like a commercial airline.
No, that's the guy from the .com.
Oh yeah. So who are you talking about?
Dave, hard merch. His boat's
yeah.
His boat's always breaking down on him. Yeah,
he's cool, guy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude, he's great. I wanted Paul too. Paul.
The
wicked pisser.
Yeah, wicked pisser.
Yeah. Wicked pisser, man. But like Paul never messed me back.
He'd be a good guest.
He would. Dave went first, but Paul follows me back as well. So
cool.
Yeah, man. It's. I'm having a lot of fun with the podcast.
That's cool, man.
Get a lot of, I started out on TikTok and the socials, right? I built a decent following before I started the podcast, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's helped a lot. I've rubbed shoulders with a lot of cool people that I've looked up to and shit like that. Mm-hmm. And I had Ed the Sock. Remember Ed the Sock?
Oh yeah.
I had Ed the Sock back on episode 11.
Holy shit!
Yeah, and he told me that sometimes the funniest part is trying. Just reach out to everybody.
Yeah.
Right. You never know who's gonna answer back. Right.
Yeah.
And that's that's been my mantra. I don't care who you are, how big you are. I reached out to Bo Duke. What the fuck's his real name in real life?
Roy Schneider.
Bo is that John Schneider.
John Schneider. Yeah, John Schneider. Yeah.
I reached out to him, haven't heard anything back yet. I'm going to email him again. The dude just lost his wife like a year ago, and he's writing letters to heaven. It's an album or whatever, and every day he puts out a new poem for his wife, and the guy is fucking incredible. I reached out to him, nothing yet, but we're working on it, man. It's been a lot of fun, and that's when I was like, you know what, I'm going to reach out to fucking Gary from Dirtbag, and you know what, if he doesn't, but at least I tried. At least I did my part.
Why wouldn't somebody come and have a chat with you? You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Mike Rowe, where the fuck you at, dog?
Yeah.
Right?
Fucking dirty jobs.
Man, he's got his own podcast too. He's busy.
Yeah, I guess. And that's why, and I when I started out, I tried to contact all the Dragons, all the Sharks, all those guys, when I was first starting out. And, get all pissed off because they don't reply or whatever, but they're busy. They're they're rich, and they're rich because they're busy.
That's right, dude. That's right. I'm not even fucking rich, and I'm busy, and I'm not really trying to get rich, but like I'm fucking busy.
I'd like to be rich, but you know what I mean. It's just takes time.
Working over 100 hours a week, doing the podcast, fucking making videos for social media, being a family man. Dude, and then I still got to sleep in there somewhere, right? Yeah, so it's kind of like, so we're busy. We're busy. It's a fulfilling life, Don't ever let anyone tell you that they're too busy to do anything, right? Because, hey, I just think,
we have no kids, and I just couldn't imagine having kids. I feel so busy already, and you know what I mean? Having kids on top of that, man, hats off to you guys. That's
I tell my wife all the time, I can go work on a cement job for 30 hours. I can pull a 25-hour day, no problem.
Yeah.
Go back to camp, have a teeny bit of energy left over before bed. I spent 8 hours chasing these kids around, and I'm cooked.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah. I got a dog. He keeps me God.
No, yeah, man. It's no kidding. So where are you from originally?
Brandon, Manitoba.
Brandon, Manitoba. Hey, the Paris of the Prairies.
The shithole of Manitoba.
Well, didn't the Tragically Hip, label that we're all just
whatchamacallit
Wheat Kings, the song Wheat Kings.
Yeah, but I don't. Apparently, that had nothing to do with the fucking Wheat Kings. It means something else, but that is where the Wheat Kings are from. But
yeah, the Brandon Wheat Kings. Yeah, Braden Shen played for the Wheat Kings for a little while.
It's been so long. Back when I watched the Wheat Kings, it was like Ron Hextall. Ron Hextall was the goalie for the Brandon Wheat Kings.
Shit, man, you are old.
Yeah. He used to come out and skate over from the front line or the middle line.
Yep. Man, that's fucking dude. I love Hextall, man. He just got let go of the Pittsburgh Penguins front office, didn't he, before the start of this season?
I didn't even know he was there.
Yeah, exactly. He went from Brandon to I don't know
Philadelphia
after Brandon, but he was the goalie in Philadelphia for a while.
Yeah,
and then I think he was like GM. I think he might have been the GM of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he worked with Brian Burke.
Wow.
And they both got shit canned before the season started.
That was a long time ago, I think. And my very first Brandon Wheat King game, he got into a fight with the other goalie.
Of course he did.
Across, and actually, it was a bench brawl. Every player was on the ice, and that was my very first hockey game. And there was blood on the ice. It was fucking great.
Didn't Hextall get into it with Ray Emery?
I don't know. The name doesn't sound familiar.
Fucking Ray Emery was a goalie for Ottawa, Chicago. Ray Emery's from Hamilton, where I'm from originally, and he died a couple years ago. He got drunk on a boat and drowned in the river, or in the river, I guess.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, man. It is, dude. It is. Anyways, buddy, I don't want to keep you too late. It's getting to be, pretty late there. I don't know if you want to keep going. We can keep going if you.
No, it's up to you. Like I'm not a very interesting guy. That's about as interesting as I get, buddy.
Hey, man, I think this has been an interesting conversation. So, like,
you ever make your way out here or what? Out west?
So we lived in fucking Coquitlam for a little while. We like to travel a lot. I think this spring we're gonna make our way to Seattle. We like to take road trips. Go to Seattle. We'll go down, Edmonton to Calgary through Kananaskis up and come up to the south side of Seattle. And on the way back, we'll go through Vancouver and do a giant circle around the Pacific Northwest there. And on our way back, we'll probably hit Kelowna. So
yeah, you should swing in. We'll have a barbecue or something, man.
Hell yeah, man! Yeah. I'm always down for a barbecue, especially if
my
someone
house is always open. I've always got cold beer, coldest beer in town.
What's the price of gas in Kelowna right now?
Oh fuck! I work like 2 minutes away from here. I drive a Mini Cooper. I can't remember last time I bought gas.
You traded the jacked up diesel in for a Mini Cooper.
I did. I sold my truck to throw it in the fucking dirt bags right off the bat. And it's just because I didn't need it. I wasn't going back and forth to Alberta anymore. And then I don't know, for some reason we picked up this Cooper just because it was fun to drive at first. And it's a fun little car, but I've got it all dirt bagged up. It's got stickers or like logos on the side.
Hell yeah. You got to send me a picture of that.
Yeah. But it goes like fucking steak. It's a fun car to drive. But yeah, very little gas, man. That's great.
There's another creator on TikTok. I'm going to get like absolutely murdered if I don't bring her up. I don't know. She said she reached out to you there last year. She got a bag. Her name's Kennedy Tort Girl. And, she got a bag and she did a giveaway with the bag on TikTok, which is what I'm going to do when you send me, when you said you're sending me a big one.
I'll send you one tomorrow. Go on.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'll do a giveaway with one year too, but shout out to Kennedy who's like, man, like I did that last year. Right. And
I don't recall doing that for anybody else, or maybe she just bought it and did it without telling me, but
Maybe. I think she said she emailed you, and I'm like, oh, did you call him? Right? Because, like, I called, right? I was like, hey, I'm finding this dude's phone number. Yeah. And, like, I don't rest. I scour the internet until I get what I'm looking for, right? I know if it's on, like, page 30 of Google, I'm going there. Right? I know everything I'm looking for is on the internet somewhere. So
yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'll send you one. That'd be great to do a contest.
Hell yeah, man! I'll give one away in a live somewhere, or hey, we'll talk about it here right now. Fuck it, when we do get it, give Gary a follow on Instagram at Dirtbag Distributors. Give him a follow. You gotta follow, like the post, fucking. I don't know. Fuck, we'll figure something out, right? Yeah. Your name will get entered into the draw, and then I'll fucking give the bag away.
For sure.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good, man.
Hell yeah, man. We'll get more.
I'm always up for that.
Hell yeah.
I'm always up for stuff like that. I like giving them free, but I can only do so many. But the wife gets mad.
I hear that, man. I got a lot. We do hard hat stickers, and on my website they're $1 a piece.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm up to giving like at least 1,000 or more away now. Yeah. Right? And she's pissed, and I'm like, hey, you know what? Like, you got to get the name out there somehow.
With stickers, right? Yeah. I give them away. Like I said, you go to a construction site in Kelowna here, and you'll see Dirtbag somewhere, or on the back of a concrete truck's trailer. They're everywhere.
Hell yeah, man! You got to do that. Hard hat stickers are currency.
That's right. Hell
yeah. They tell a story, right? There's the song "Oilfield Cowboy" by West St. John, right?
Oh yeah.
He says. I got hard hat stickers on this whole lid that tell a story, right? Yeah. And it does. It tells a story, man. Your lid is
that's why my hard hat pocket is a mesh, so that when your hard hat's in there, there can be 5 dirt bags there, and you can tell which bag is yours just by seeing the stickers. You know what I mean? That's why I made it like that. Yeah.
That's a sick idea, man. I really like that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, because I can see my hard hat from across the leash. You know what I mean? I know it's my hard hat.
Well, mine's blue, and a lot of people have blue, but like mine has sort of become maybe not to anyone but myself, my hard hat's become like an icon, right? So
Oh,
like
yeah.
the blue hard hat with the glasses I wear,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's my, I have a sticker with it on there. You know it's my hard hat, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so like fucking yeah, man, my hard hat, you know my hard hat when you see
Yeah.
it, right? And I love that damn thing. You know, I remember it went missing for a little bit and I had to rock a black one and it just didn't feel the same, you know. I was like,
Yeah.
this isn't my hard hat.
Yeah.
I have an unhealthy relationship with my hard hats.
Well, and they're only supposed to be good for 3 years, aren't they? 3 or 5 years.
Let's not talk about how long my hard hat's been around for.
Yeah, I know. I've had mine for, I bet you 10 now. So
I replaced the harness on the inside of it a couple of times, right? Maybe that gives it new life. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
My hard hat has saved
I've loved. They've gone flying out of the back of my pickup, and you know that's what made me think of the Dirtbag, designing the Dirtbag. Is keep my hard hat in a bag.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Can't lose your hard hat. Fuck.
No, fuck no, man. You lose that. That's your identity. That's
right.
That has become a part of who I am.
Yeah. And you got to get a brand new one. And then everybody, you know what I mean? Everyone knows it's a brand new hard hat.
Oh, you throw it in an invert tank.
No stickers. Yeah, it just doesn't fly.
Just throw it in an invert tank, spray it off a little bit, put it back on, you're good to go.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So, man, I like to end the podcast. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I like to end the podcast with one last final question, and you know it stumps a lot of people, but Mount Rushmore has 4 of the most influential people on the face of the rock, and if you could have your own Mount Rushmore, 4 people you look up to, inspire to be, or that inspired you, who would they be and why?
Holy fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Donald Trump. No, just kidding. Fuck you. That's like 4 people I look up to.
Yeah, man. 4 people. They could be dead, alive, fiction, nonfiction.
I'd say my dad being one. Look up to.
Is that a sticker? Is that a sticker on your shirt? Or do you have that etched in there?
That's a sticker.
Oh yeah.
Fuck, I got Dirtbag on everything in here.
No, you got Dirtbag mugs and everything, eh?
Oh yeah.
You gotta do it, man. Gotta put that shit. Nothing makes you feel better than seeing something that you have designed, created, and put so much effort into, plastered on shit, right? And
just the thought of the bags that I thought up in my head and that I, you know, got to, you know, and made that are out in the field there. That's what gets me, you know, going. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not just the money. It's just the thought of my bags that, you know, that idea that was in my head is now out in the field. That's what gets me.
I can't wait to take this one to work, man.
That's cool. Well, you probably need a big one too, though. So what, you just go for the day or what?
No, no, man. I go for like, so last hitch was 3.5 weeks. The one before that was 8 weeks. You know, I go up for, you know, as long as I can anyway. The pandemic, you know, was hard on everyone. I stayed in.
Yeah.
For, I think I spent 20 days at home in 2 years. That was ridiculous. But so I moved my family back closer. We were in Edmonton before the pandemic. Somehow, for some reason, we moved back to Ontario for a little bit.
Yeah.
And didn't know my wife was pregnant when we left. And, you know, we get there, wife's pregnant, you know, and so my youngest was born in Ontario. And then, you know, after the pandemic was over, it was just like, I want my family back closer because, like, I didn't get to see much of them, right? So moved them back here, and now I'm home as often as I can. They come with me sometimes in the summer when I'm on the road crew. They'll come with me, follow me around in the hotels and stay with me and shit. So,
nice.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of time back. I know it's not actually getting time back, but, you know, I'm creating time that I wouldn't necessarily have either, right?
Yeah.
So
there you go.
Yeah.
It sucks being away.
Yeah, it sure does, man.
Yeah,
sure does. It's hard, especially once you have kids, right?
Yeah. I miss my dog. I just leave that house for the day and I miss my fucking dog.
There you go. Your dog's on
and my wife. And my wife. I miss my wife too.
Your dog, your dog's on your Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Who else you got up there? Your dad, your dog?
My dad, my dog. Fuck, dude, that's a hard question.
Yeah.
God, I can't even think right now. Who the fuck would you have up there?
My dad's up there, but not for this reason you would think. My dad's a beacon of who not to be, right? Like I look up and I'm like, I'm going in a different direction than that motherfucker, right? I respect my family and the women and everybody else, and
Yeah.
my grandmother, my nana.
Yeah.
I didn't meet her till about 10 or 11 years ago. My dad was adopted when he was a kid.
Oh yeah.
And after 50 years, they found each other. And so like
Really?
she's an amazing woman. Yeah. She doesn't really remember too much anymore. She's fucking 80 something, and
Oh yeah.
she's had 2 strokes over the last couple of years and just not doing well. She lived in Stonewall, Manitoba for a while.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And she's back in Ontario now where my uncle can take care of her though. So yeah, so my nana, my wife, Austin Matthews.
Austin Matthews.
Yeah.
Who's that?
What? The greatest hockey player in the world.
Oh God! He plays for the Leafs.
Toronto Maple Leafs. Yep.
I thought for sure you're an Oilers fan, being from Edmonton when you mentioned that the other day.
Fuck no, man. Fuck no. When the Leafs aren't in town and I go to a game, yeah, I got 8 Oilers jerseys.
Yeah.
Right, I'll wear them. But when the Leafs are in town, when the Leafs are in town, those Oilers jerseys could go away. I pack them in a separate tote or crate over there in the laundry room. They're tucked away somewhere where you can't even see them. And it's all Leaf jerseys hanging up, right? And it's like, yep. And then, my kids share a rock. So there's the 4 for me. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, man. But my nana, man, number one, dude. She taught me a lot in only the 10 years that I met her, right? So she was supposed to die twice, man, right? She had cancer in the 70s, or was it 70s was a car crash? I can't remember which one it was. She was in a car crash where apparently she died twice, and they brought her back, and she survived only to face a bout of cancer, and then survived that, and then, my grandfather died in the living room while she was on the phone right next to him, pretty much, and in 2001 had a heart attack, just gone. Here's the phone, babe, it's for you. Comes back, gone.
Wow.
Yeah, my uncle went the same way. His dad did, in his sleep, heart attack.
Wow.
Yeah. So fucking, she taught me a lot. Then, 2 strokes. Don't remember shit really. She texted me randomly a few months ago, and I was like, "What? That's her. She's texting me. What the hell? How did she?" Yeah, it had to be decrypted or decoded, but I got it. I understood from the help of my wife. Text her back, called her. She knew who I was.
Oh, good.
And that was it, right? I had a hard time getting anything else out of her since then. But we think she has. Well, I don't think it's a think anymore. She has Alzheimer's, or dementia, either one. I don't know which one.
Yeah. Well, fuck, that seems to be getting bad. You know what I mean? Lots of people have that now.
Yeah.
Parkinson's and dementia and all that shit. Fuck.
Yep. And young people dying of heart attacks.
Yeah. My dad had a heart attack a couple of years ago, 73, and I think my grandpa at 70. So I got about 20 years left, I think.
20 more years to go.
20 more years. Been a good run. I'm fine with that.
Hey, man, if the good Lord pulls my number right now, it's going to suck for the people upstairs. But, I've had a good run. I've taken care of them to the best of my ability. You know what I mean? And, you can't ask for more.
I don't want to get old. I don't want to be bedridden. You know what I mean? It just can't end that way. It's either going to be faster.
I read an article yesterday that said kids that are born right now, there's no reason why with medical advancements they're born right now. Like my youngest daughter, both my kids born right now, will 100% living to 100 will be a thing, right? Like they will live to be 100 years old, barring no medical shit happens or car accidents or whatever. Yeah. But living to 100 won't be a rare occurrence. And then their kids, 120 will be like a normal thing. Their kids, 150.
Oh yeah, but you're still going to be too old to move or do anything. You know what I mean? I don't want to live like that.
Yeah, well, look at us, man. Right? Where were our ancestors like 100, 200 years ago? Let's take it back a couple hundred years. Where were our ancestors living to be? I'd be dead already, right? Yeah. Like 35. I'm 30. I'll be 35 in a month and a half, 2 months. And So when you get to be in your 30s and things start, like hurting and breaking down in your bladder, you need to go piss a lot more. There's a reason for that, right? Genetics is saying, hey, time's up, motherfucker, right?
Yep.
But like medical advancements and shit like that is keeping us alive much longer. We can. So at 35 to 40, we're middle aged, right?
Yeah, but you're still gonna be when you're 80, you're still fucking 80 years old. Like, doesn't matter how healthy you are, you're not gonna be able to move like you want to, or you know what I mean. I don't want to be laid up in a bed somewhere.
I was talking to the wife about that. When people start living to be 100, 120, what's the retirement age going to be, right? Yeah. How much money do you need to have saved up then? What are you going to go through in the fucking 100 years prior to that you're going to be like, is this fucking ride over yet? You know what I mean? Like, there are times now, right, where, 35, you're fucking 50 something. So, there are times where it's like, can I get off this ride yet?
Yeah, I think if you should be able to die if you want. If you want to, if you're 80 years old and you're like, fuck this, everything hurts, you know what I mean? You're getting to the point where you're going to be bedridden. You should be able to decide what you want to do with the rest of your life.
Well, they got that. That's called MAID.
Got what?
They got the MAID program. The liberal government pushed that MAID program, medical assistance in death.
Really?
Yeah, except for now it's not just for people who are old and fucking sick. Now it's like, I'm mentally ill.
Anybody.
Like the mentally ill, they're pushing it towards the mentally ill now. Like, hey, like the government doesn't want to dump money into helping the mental health of our population. So they're like, hey, if you're not doing so well mentally and you want to end it, come to us. It's the MAID program. And they, I don't agree with that. I don't like that one.
I think if you're still smart, you got enough brains to make your own decisions, and you just had enough. Like when my grandma, she was bedridden for like the last 10 years of her life, and she could do nothing by herself, and she hated it. She didn't like people having to,
Yep.
She prayed to die every fucking night. She prayed to die. And she was saying, why is God doing this to me? Why isn't he taking me? He knows what I'm feeling. And so, yeah, she prayed every night for God to take her.
It's like Tom Hanks in The Green Mile, man. His curse was living forever because he let Paul Coffey die. Yeah. Was it Paul Coffey or John Coffey? It was Paul Coffey.
John Coffey. Paul Coffey, hockey player.
Yeah, Paul Coffey's hockey player. It was John Coffey.
It's John Coffey, yeah.
John Coffey, Michael Clark Duncan.
Yeah. Yeah,
man. Yeah, man. He let John Coffey die.
Yeah.
Electric chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, buddy, man, this has been a lot of fun, dude.
Man.
Coming on, man. Cool way to kill an hour and a half,
Yeah. Has it been that long?
Been an hour and roughly 20 minutes. Yeah.
Dude, I haven't talked to anybody on the phone for like 10 years.
So I know it's going to be a good podcast when I'm not spending the first 10 minutes staring at the clock thinking how I'm going to kill the first 10 minutes, right? And, like I looked up and it's already been an hour and I'm just like, damn, dude, where did the time go, right? And now it's an hour and damn near 20 minutes. So, you're not a boring person. And, a lot of people...
You'd be pretty bored after 10 minutes. You'd be shutting her down.
Nah, fuck no. There's been a couple episodes I've had where the person wasn't engaging, and it's not their job to be entertaining. That's my job to keep it entertaining and keep the show going, right? So it's some of them. There's been a couple episodes where it's been really hard to muster up that I had to really dig deep and pull one out of my ass. But in the end, we were able to do it. We were able to. Once I dig around a bit and I find that opening. And once I get in there, sometimes it takes half an hour. But once I get in there, I wiggle my way in, I crack you open, it's off to the races. We're good to go, right? I can tell by a person when I start talking to them. And like I said, sometimes it's like, shit, maybe I should have just rescheduled this,
Yeah, I'm glad we did this, man. It was cool.
Hell yeah, man. Hey, where can people find you on the socials, just in case, before we go, in case they want to be looking for you?
We're on Facebook, obviously, Instagram, and yeah, that's about it.
You need to get on TikTok.
What's that?
You need to get those.
I know, but
bags
you
on
know what?
TikTok.
I fucking suck at this computer, Facebook. Like I do all my, and actually that's the only advertising I do is Facebook. A little bit on Instagram. I'm just getting on Instagram, but I just suck at that kind of shit.
Facebook and Instagram are where you're gonna make your sales anyway. But like TikTok, I think can help a little bit for sure.
Like, I don't even know what the fuck TikTok is, to be honest with you.
It's an app where
I have the app, but I
dance.
don't know how. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it.
Man, you got to figure it out like the rest of
I
us.
will.
Right?
I will.
It was hard. It was hard at the beginning.
Yeah, but yeah, I think Facebook is, kind of getting, it's kind of, it's more for the older people. I think TikTok,
Absolutely.
Instagrams, where it's at.
Absolutely, man. Hell yeah. No,
I'll figure it out.
You will. You'll get it, man. It's fucking. It'll come to you naturally, right? Like you gotta fuck around with it a little bit, but you'll get it.
I just hate fucking computers and shit.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
Like Dirtbag.
Dude, I do everything off my phone, right? I used to be so good. I used to be a whiz on like laptops and computers and shit like that, right? Once my phone became the laptop and the computer in my pocket, you stop using an actual computer for 2 or 3 years. You go back to using a computer. And it's like technology changes like that, right? And
this is the first time I've sat in front of a computer in years.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. It's nuts, and it's usually hard to fucking figure out and tinker with. And my daughter, my 6-year-old, knows more about computers than I do.
I bet.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
When I was 6, I was testing dirt samples outside in the backyard.
Testing dirt samples.
Taste testing them. Yeah. She's teaching me things about my phone and the laptop and an iPad that I knew nothing about.
I bet.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. These kids, they're a different breed.
Yeah. We're so the other day, and this kid was sitting beside his mom playing on her phone, I guess, but he looked like he was like 4. You know what I mean?
Well, you got to think about it. A 4-year-old spent his entire life in quarantine pretty damn much, right?
Yeah.
My daughter's 6, half her life in quarantine. My youngest was born 2 days before the pandemic. 3 years, 2.5 years of her life, roughly, was spent indoors.
Yeah. Fuck, eh?
Fucking didn't see a mall for like the first year of her life.
Holy shit.
It's insane, man.
Yeah.
Insane. These kids had to grow up, and they grew up fucking vicious.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they go for blood.
Right on.
Yep. Anyways, bud, this has been a lot of fun, man. Thanks for coming on, dude.
Yeah. Hey, it's my pleasure.
Hey, Gary, stay frosty.
Yeah, you too, buddy. Hey, let me know how that movie goes.
Yeah. What's it called
Chocolate
again?
Lizards.
Chocolate Lizards. I'm gonna look for
Lizards.
that right now.
Peace out, brother.
Peace out, brother. Thanks for coming on.
You bet. Bye.
Bye.